Apple was the first company to cross a $1 trillion market cap. Another company that really needs little introduction. A couple of the things that I would like to point out about Apple. While Apple only has, now mind you, these are somebody else's estimates, but the company has about a 13% market share in the smartphone market worldwide. And yet the iPhone is responsible for 75% of all the profits from smartphones in the world. That's an incredible metric in my
For a
mind.
while, it was 100% for a number of years.
It was higher than it was. I don't think it was ever 100, but yeah, it was pretty high. Yes, there are a lot of players out there. The iPhone is the single dominant, high quality smartphone out there, in my opinion. I think one of the other things that bears mentioning is if you go back several years ago, when Apple first crossed $1 trillion, even among people at the Motley Fool, there were some who said, yeah, that's kind of it for Apple. They've got this percentage of the smartphone market. The company has gotten this big. I don't see any more growth for them. And then, Tim Cook pivoted and said, let's focus on, subscription services and services in general. And now the company has streaming television. It has streaming audio. It has video games. It has a number of services that are now account for the fastest growing part of Apple's business. So aside from being, the dominant profitable cell phone provider on the planet, Apple has all these other ancillary businesses that continue to grow as its market share grows in the iPhone market. And let's not forget about, the Macs and the notebooks and everything else. Apple pays a dividend. One of my favorite charts of all time when it comes to Apple's business has to do with its dividend, even though, I'm not necessarily a dividend investor. But if you look at this, I mean, Apple's dividend since it reinstituted it back in 2012 has more than doubled. I think this is something that you're going to continue to see go up and up. So yeah, Apple is, it was actually my number one pick, and, very strong case for it there.
Yeah, I just noticed on our spreadsheet we use to calculate these ranks out. I actually ranked it ninth. I meant to rank it eighth, and rank Microsoft as ninth. Or maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. It's one of the two. And here's the thing about it for me. It's this simple for me. I have a huge bias when it comes to very, very large companies. At this stage in my investing portfolio and investing career, I just am so focused on being able to capture steadily larger and larger share of market. The vast majority of my holdings are in retirement accounts where I'm not worried about capital gains, right? If I had a large holding in one of these companies in a taxable account and had experienced, 20 years of great returns, it might change my thinking, right? So I want to be sure to really put my thinking in that bucket. I really struggle with thinking about these as own forever at this point because of that situation for me. But for so many of the things you said, Danny, I think Apple's just going to continue to get stronger, right? Because the thesis was, yeah, like you said, it's already got so much of the share of the smartphone market. How much bigger can that get? It can't get bigger. And then what have they done? They've turned this into the portal, right? It's still the biggest source of profits, but it's the portal for all of the other things that are going to be huge. Smartwatches, that's, helping it get into healthcare, right? So not even just talking about fitness, but healthcare, right? So you got fitness and healthcare. You have streaming entertainment properties, right? There are all of these ways that it's diversifying that fit within that walled garden, right? That work within that platform that it's built, the ecosystem, to use a term that's been around for a long time. I think it's fair to call it a own forever company. It's just not for me.